New tonight, a new Minnesota bill now in the state Senate looks to put an end to the use of private prisons. KIMT News 3's Alec Lasham tells us why some lawmakers want to make this move in the first place and why others are against it. Alec.
Well, Tyler, if passed, then Minnesota would join 5 other states when it comes to banning the use of private prisons. However, those against the bill say it could limit the Commissioner of Public Safety's options when it comes to building or using incarceration facilities. DFL lawmakers in the Minnesota House passed a bill known as House File 1200 that would restrict the use of private prisons by the state. State Representative Dan Walgamot says private prisons are worse than public because they have higher rates of violent assaults and they do not prepare people to return to society following a completion of their sentence.
They don't adequately fund the rehab programs for mental health, drug abuse, the things that we do to make sure that when people who are incarcerated come back in the communities, they have received the support that they need to be successful members of our society.
Fillmore County's Attorney Brett Corson says the bill makes sense at first glance.
We, at least in our area, we have not contracted with private entities or private prisons or private jails for housing inmates.
The state's last private prison was Prairie Correctional Facility in Appleton and closed nearly 13 years ago. However, Corson says the state could be limited with its options if the prison population grows at an exponential rate.
The concern I would guess that some people may have would be is what happens if our jail population continues to expand or expands quickly and we may not have a publicly owned jail or public prison. What happens then?
On the House floor Thursday night, State Representative Patty Anderson addressed what would happen.
It's not fiscally responsible to tie the hands of the commissioner and say you have to only use buildings that we have built, the public built, through bonding, because that's the only way they're going to get built.
In the meantime, Corson says he hopes correctional staff can do a risk assessment of their prison population to avoid an overpopulation issue.
Hopefully, the current facilities that we have are able to house all those individuals. And I think if not, then just like in a jail setting or any other setting, hopefully there's the opportunity to look at who we've got in our prison population and our jail population and say, hey, are these people now low risk? Can we put them into a less restrictive setting?
In 2021, President Joe Biden signed an executive order that will phase out the Justice Department's use of private prisons. Minnesota has not used a private prison since 2010. Tyler.